What is going on, everybody? We got a great episode today. It felt like a slow week, even though a lot did, or not that much happened, but some big events happened. We finally got the Blast TGE. We got Borpa that launched a bit of a rocky launch. We're going to talk about that. And last night we had the first presidential debate. Ash, sir, how are you doing? How was your week?
Week was good. We should just jump into it, honestly.
Jump right in?
Yeah, just go right into it.
I wanted to start, just get it out of the way. It's the most relevant, I guess, because it happened last night. I did want to start with the presidential debates. I don't know. I don't know how you felt. It felt like an absolute joke. Like, at one point, dude, they were debating their golf game.
That was funny.
Who's a better golfer? Like, what is going on? But I mean, I understand people like getting political. I do think it is important at this point, in the world to discuss this kind of stuff. I don't know what Biden was getting trolled like crazy on it. He was somehow tweeting, first of all, and a lot of people were saying, wait, how's he tweeting? But he was getting absolutely trolled, like fumbling his words. And I don't know, it felt like a mess. Trump got in some zingers there when he said the classic. I don't know what he said, and I don't think he does either. That kind of was going around a lot, and a few others, like a 1 minute, maybe a little less than 1 minute of Biden kind of fumbling around. But one thing a lot of people thought, crypto would be a major talking point, and it wasn't. I mean, I feel there's dude, the economy in general, what happened with the disease, we'll say, that went on, immigration. There's just so many topics that everybody cares about versus like our little niche of crypto. Like, dude, the people don't care about crypto, right? Outside of us, as a major issue. So obviously it's not going to come up. But I do feel like, dude, the world deserves better, but America deserves better. Like these two options don't feel great. And if anything, it made me more hopeful for crypto, dude. Like getting out of this system. That's what it made me feel.
Yeah, the weird thing about it to me was that CNN basically had like the pitchforks out like right after the debate, where they were like, that wasn't good. Like, are we gonna have to replace this dude? And like, I'm sure they're probably gonna try to do that. But
can they?
I mean, yeah.
Too late. Okay, like Biden isn't the official guy.
No, I mean they could technically. Right, like they could go out, and the thing is there aren't really like too many good options on that side. But yeah, when it comes to like the political coins and stuff, like a lot of people were talking about, oh, I'm gonna make so much money off the memes from the debate, and there really weren't any. And it's like, I feel like in a way
that's why I tuned in as well. I mean, I wanted to see it, but I was thinking, hey, if there's any word that they drop, somebody's going to release a meme coin and it could pop off.
Yeah, there was only one coin that actually did well. It was called America CTO, and it went to like 3 million market cap. Everything else sucked.
That's a great idea, though. That's a great idea.
Yeah, everything else sucked, though. And yeah, it was just weird because like Trump's like meme coin dumped.
They all dumped. Yeah, across the board.
Dumped. Yeah, like all of them went down, and I'm just like,
Bowden dumped the hardest. Actually, Trump Mania dumped the hardest. I don't even know this one. There's Pepe Trump. I saw a few. There's like Pepe MAGA that actually did well, but there's Pepe Trump that's down 60%. But of the majors, Trump, MAGA hat, Tucker, Bowden. Bowden is down the worst at 40% over the last 24 hours. But it seems all of them. It was like a buy the rumors, sell the news event. It was already in a weird place because of the whole DJT token.
Yeah.
That's scared a lot of people off because they're like, wow, if Trump comes out and actually does release a token or a member of his family or whatever, it's going to nuke every other token. So people already were scared. But
yeah, I'm not in any of them anymore. I was in Trump. I sold that for a loss. Glad I did because it kept going down. And yeah, it's just weird. Like it's I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. I think you're right though. The DJT, the one that Martin Shkreli was talking about, I feel like that really put the brakes on the rest of the political meme coin side of things because now nobody really doesn't know what's going on. So, yeah, the debate was weird. I think that Trump trying to win the crypto people over is probably good. And I mean, I live in America. I thought it was so funny, and yeah, I mean, the main thing that I'm waiting for at this point is like who's going to be Trump's vice president. Like that's what I'm interested in seeing.
and are those tokens that you're buying the vice president
Well,
coin?
Vivek had like a couple that were mooning, but I don't know. I mean, if whenever it gets announced, I'll trade them on like the day, like that day.
Mhm.
Like if he gets announced tomorrow, if or whoever gets announced tomorrow, especially if it's Vivek, like I feel like he's a character that people can get behind. But if it's someone lame, then like it'll probably still pump. But I don't know.
It'll go to a couple. Yeah, if he's lame, it'll go to like a couple mil. But Vivek has established himself as like a main character that people know. He's successful at business. A lot of people are sharing his tweets.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like we'll see what happens, but I feel like that's the main thing right now. Until you get Shkreli coming out and saying, "Hey, this is our or this is like the if the token is actually legit, if it actually gets endorsed by Trump, then it's different." But yeah, besides that, yeah, was weird to see, and I honestly like just don't really have many other thoughts until the VP is announced and until we see if they're going to try to replace Biden with somebody else cuz I think it's pretty clear that whole debate last night was not really good for Biden really at all. So,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
if they replace him with a different candidate, and that token would moon. There'd be tokens around the new name, the new candidate that do well. But yeah, the vice president's also going to matter. I think debate wise, like not just keep getting on this topic, but debate wise, I think I brought this up before. This interview with Patrick Bet David, where he brings on like Chris Cuomo and they talk about everything that happened with CNN. And they brought on, I had no idea who this guy was, but he was good as the opposition. This is the kind of debates where I want like live fact checking of what they say. The host just lets them speak and both of them are respectable with back and forths and they're open and they're honest and like dude, the audience is yelling at him whenever he says things that like they're calling him out on stuff. The audience is like active. Like these are the kind of debates that I want. I don't understand why we can't have like a podcast debate where why are they on stage, they get 90 seconds to answer. At least they reduce the amount of ads that play during the show, but it just feels completely useless. Like they were literally arguing who's the better who's the worst president, and it's like it's as if me and you start arguing like who's the worst trade unless we're bringing in facts and we're showing our P&L. Like who cares? Like what are we doing? So I think debate side, but keeping it crypto, it was a buy the rumor, sell the news. They tanked. It doesn't mean by any means these tokens are dead. Like politics are going to be relevant for the next 4 months at least. So I think there's definitely going to be a lot of plays here. But moving on to the next topic, we finally got to see the Blast TGE. It launched. It's currently at 2.2 billion, around where it launched. It went up to like 3. This was a good trade, first of all. So I moved this week. You probably can't tell because it's a white background still, but I'm in a new place. I had no internet. I had my phone. If I put effort, I could have traded this, but I said I'm going to take a day off from the market. Ash, I know you were actively trading this. How you feel about the launch?
So a couple things. I did buy the well, okay, so let's start with like the where do we want to start with this? I'll start with the trade. So I did buy Blast when it launched, and I am currently basically break even on the buy, and I'm also down like more than I would have been obviously if I would have sold my airdrop too. So I'm still up. Like I think I'm in total, I'm up like $8,000 from this, but there was obviously a lot of people that expected Blast Gold to be $4 to $6, if not 10. I remember we heard people were saying that it was going to potentially be 20. People were estimating that this was going to open at like a $5 to $6 billion FDV. It's currently at a 2 billion FDV, and the circulating market cap is 378 million, which by the way is like lower than Blur, which is crazy. And so from my perspective, I think it's one of two things. Either one, because if you compare this to other L2s, this is severely undervalued. Like you look at Polygon, it has like a I mean, it's like what, $6 or $7 billion FTV. Nobody uses Polygon. And yet you have Blast that actually has these apps on it that people use. So either one, Blast is undervalued, or two, Blast was so it was so it was only basically marketed towards people that were in NFTs, that maybe we thought that with the numbers of people that claim that they were farming, and you saw it on Twitter and fantasy top and like all this stuff in farming, that maybe there weren't really other people outside of the Blast, outside of the NFT ecosystem that were even really trading these, or that was even farming these, like that even really gave a shit about Blast at all. And I honestly think that's might be it. I really think that Blast was probably like just in our little bubble, and I think that that's one of the reasons why it didn't do super well. What do you think?
No, I agree with what you said. It was definitely a farmer's game. Who would have used it if there was no farming, right? If there's no gold, if there was no airdrop. And you could say that about a lot of things. We've had 3 disappointing airdrops now. ZK, or look, I wasn't disappointed. I didn't put that much time into farming it. Most of my time was just passive. I just bridged in 20 ETH and I let it sit there. But because of that, I didn't get any gold. So then I started using all the different protocols. The one I did the most was Cambria. And I mean, it does cost you a fee to play Cambria, but I won the weekly prizes and stuff. So I'm break even, or I'd say even in profit. I haven't calculated it, but you could see how much ETH you spent. So I was just farming things I actually wanted to do. The rest was just passive, like putting money into Wasabi or Hyperlock or whatever the other ones are. I was just doing it like that. So by the time I sold, I got like $7,500 just from, mostly passive and playing Cambria. Cambria is also going to have an airdrop, so I have expectations there. And I'm doing it with a crew of people, so we have fun doing it. We chat, we hang out. So I didn't invest that much time where I felt slighted. I think on the, I have a link here. Let me pull it up. On the Blur farmer side, that was really disappointing for a lot of people, or the people who invested the time. I saw, CBB, whatever, C3PO. He was complaining, saying absolute rug from Pac-Man, basically dumping on every Blur farmer and staker. Look, I staked my Blur for a while, for months, and got like 50 million points. Thanks to either Easy or Kicks, I forget. One of them like tweeted, like I think it was Easy. He tweeted, "I'm dumping Blur here, and I'm putting it into Blast to farm." And I was like, "Oh, that's a good idea." So I did that too. And I ended up selling the top of Blur. I think a lot of people just held it, and they held as Blur fell off, because now it's down pretty bad, from if you could have sold it like 60 something cents, and it's currently, I don't know, it's not loading here, but it's currently like 20 something cents. So I think a lot of people feel slighted from the airdrop here. I got 300K tokens, Blast tokens. I only got 13K from staking and trading. Like I still had a lot of trading volume, and I only got 13K. So I understand this side of things, but the airdrop itself, Like I wasn't upset, but the performance, yeah, a lot of people were saying, I saw even higher. You said 5 to 6, dude. I saw like NFT stats, wasn't he saying? And a lot of people were looking to him, and it's not his fault at all, dude. He's just speculating. He has money on the line too. He was saying like 8 to 12 bill. I don't know where people were getting these numbers. Like somebody said it here, Rick Star. Yeah, in one of the episodes, I said, watch gold just be 1 to 2, with no math here. I wasn't doing any math or any of these calculations that he was doing. But I said, watch gold be like $1 to $2. Just because everybody expects it now to be $7, it always trades for less. We always see it on Wales market. It's always overpriced on some of these other markets. And in the final days, it was trading for like $3.50. So it was still overpriced. The other thing I don't understand is all these people who were calling for $10, $15 gold. Why weren't they massively buying up all the supply on pump and Wales market? Like that was the greatest trade if you actually believed it was going to trade for that much. So that I guess they weren't willing to put their money where their mouth is, or they weren't willing to risk it, which is fair. I understand. But if we look at some, go.
People were just talking out of their ass.
For sure, which I do all the time, So my $1 to $2 prediction was that.
So let me ask you this: do you think overall that farming blur? Okay, let me rephrase that because I just fucked that up. So do you think overall that farming blast was worth it?
For me, yeah, definitely. And even for us, we're in a different position. Somebody here, Rick Star, saying it worked for onboarding many influencers, but not casual Web3 people. That's where they fell short. For us as creators, even being on sharing our referral links or creating content around Blast, like there's a lot of positives for us to be. I've made many videos about, how to farm Blast, how to farm Cambria. It creates content. It gets me views. Like there's a lot of benefits we get. For the general person, I think somebody, I forget who had the tweet. It was either Legendary or Moritz or somebody had the tweet about this, saying a lot of people are looking at their P&L. They're not looking at the amount of time they invested. I think that one's really important. If you were spending your days grinding Blast, yeah, I'd be disappointed here. If we look at some of the trades, I'll just pull them up on screen. I know Min talked about like how he got destroyed. He got about 5% back of what he invested because he was just expecting, wow, this thing absolutely cooked. He was expecting it to do much better than it actually did. And then same thing, if you look on the opposite side, you have Cyrus here. This was a great exchange. There's a fire truck. I don't know if you're hearing in the background, but this was a great exchange. Like I saw a lot of people dumping on influencers saying, oh, you were all pushing it so much. Again, like we all had money on the line. We all had our expectations. We're just playing the market. The only difference between influencers and non-influencers is they have a bigger platform where more people listen to them. But they're just like you. They're trading. They're in the trenches. Like they have money on the line. So I never like when people dunk on the influencers. And then Cyrus here saying which influencers got obliterated because Degentraland saying, oh, they're all being silent. And Barney saying you. Then he's like, hey, I made 500K from the airdrop. And Barney brings up a good point. What's your P&L? Because everybody's talking about their airdrop. They're not talking about their actual trades. And Cyrus posted it like, dude, he cooked. He made $500,000 from the airdrop. And then he made 55 ETH from playing with different protocols, trading. And I find it interesting looking at these like Kettle Finance. He lost 12 ETH. And his bet with Kettle was that the airdrop was going to be greater, right? I know you played Kettle a lot. You also did things like Colony where you sent in Pokemon cards and you made money there. Munchables is a funny one because they rugged. He made 6 ETH just from trading this, or they didn't rug, they got hacked. Better if I phrase it like that. He minted a ton and then just flipped them. So good on him. He's a great trader, dude. And then I also saw Moritz's tweet where Moritz made, I think, close to 300K. Yeah, with his profits from or his rake back from Blast, he's going to get about 300K playing Blast. So he made $142,000 from the airdrop, about 70K of profits in farming. And this is where a lot of people failed in the farming. A lot of people only focused on getting as much gold, and they didn't think gold should be my secondary thing here. I need to focus on breaking even or making profits with what I'm doing on the daily.
Yeah, that's what I did. Like I was always in the mindset of like, I want to make money while also accumulating gold, which is why when I traded Pac Moon, that's what I did. I was like, I want the ETH now, and I also want to try to win a jackpot. Luckily, with Pac Moon, every time they won the jackpot, the price went up, which was very convenient because like I got gold while also not getting cooked. And then when I farmed Colony, that was one where I was losing money per trade because there were only like a handful of cards. Like there were probably at the time 2,000 cards listed on Colony, and there were 2,000 cards that were on Colony, but only 500 listed for sale. So people were just like trading them back and forth and placing bids and stuff. So I would say that if I had to guess, I probably lost $200 farming that, but I also got like 500 gold for doing it. So it's like it technically still ended up being worth it, especially after sending in the cards. But yeah, I went into it with that mindset too. And it does suck to see people like Min, because he's first of all a really good dude. But if he had not just gotten involved with crypto valleys, right, he would have done like way better. Like that was like the real nail in the coffin. So it's like when you look at what Cyrus did, he was farming the right stuff. Like and I'm not going to speak on his behalf, but it seemed as though what he was doing is he was going for what he thought was underfarmed and low risk. And Crypto Valley was something where it was very overfarmed and it was high risk because you had to go and you had to buy into that token and it was very Ponzi. So yeah, at least if there is something like this that comes up again in the future, I would know how to play it again. I don't know if we see that. And that is like another question that I was going to ask you, which is, do you think that we see another Blast style farm for an L2? Or do you think that moving forward, airdrop farming is not going to be as profitable as we've seen over the past few years?
I do think if you look at things on DeFi Llama, a lot of people have moved over to Linea. The TVL, let me pull it on screen here. The total value locked has increased significantly starting really in April, but in the last month, it's gone up a lot. So a lot of people have moved, especially that the ZK and the layer 0 snapshots were taken. So a lot of people moved into the money into there. So I do think, and Linea has consensus. I am I've been farming this one. I do hope it does well. There's also Scroll. I know a lot of people's farming Scroll. You got to play it differently, especially how ZK did it, where it was a lot of how much money you had locked. So I think people are going to change the way they do it. I do think we're going to get more Ponzi's. I mean, you could continue with Blast, right? Do you plan on farming Blast Season 2?
Isn't it going to take a year for the next season?
Yes. June 2025.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I just if you ask me what was it worth my time to do it the first time? And the answer was probably no. And the reason why is even if I made, let's say that I made 7 grand from farming Blast, I put in a lot more time and it was the mind share, right? Like it was from my own side of like I put in a lot more time into it than I should have for how much I made. And it's because I was like 1 foot in and 1 foot out basically at all times. And so I feel like it would just make more sense to focus on content, like do what we do um and just like trade stuff that has like more immediate return. Because for it to, I mean, to wait a year, like also this is the next question, like what's Blast gonna be worth in a year? Like is it gonna be we just don't know. And so I would really like to ask somebody like Cyrus if he plans to continue farming this, or like Hanwei, or like any of these guys that like all they do is sit around and farm. But are you gonna farm it season 2?
I already pulled out. Like, dude, I've been waiting months since the beginning, or maybe I didn't put in 20 ETH at the beginning, but a while back I put in 20 ETH, and I've been waiting to get that money out. I debated putting it into Wasabi just to passively stake, get 5% on my ETH, which is something I want to do. I do want to stake some ETH because I haven't staked. I feel like I'm missing out on money with at least the ETH that's in my vault. I'm just scared. I don't want to lose it. So I debated Wasabi, and then last night I was just like, you know what, screw this. I'm taking my money out. So I'm doing the 2-week bridge. I'm not paying the fee. I'm doing the official blast bridge. I'm gonna have to wait 2 weeks for my money. So right now I'm gonna keep farming Cambria. I see a shout out Panda One in the audience. He's going ham. He finished top 5 of the gold rush for Cambria. We have a lot of fun playing that one. I'm going to keep doing things I like. So I'm going to, I might put a little bit of money into Wasabi because you're also getting Wasabi points. There's plenty of opportunities on Blast outside of just Blast Gold and the Blast airdrop. So, but I mean, some of the main guys, I mean, the German Cabal, Legendary, Moritz, those guys, they absolutely cooked on this because they just focused on doing not what the timeline was doing, what they feel was right. I was talking to them a bit. They're going to keep same thing, keep doing the things they like, but I'm not going to, for one full year, be going ham into this. But I do think, I mean, shout out Master Chief in the audience. He said no to your question. Do you think you're going to see another L2 type of farm like this? I do think we're going to see some good farms. For a while now, I've been farming Liquidium Fi. This is a Bitcoin lending platform. I currently have 156,000 points. So from the last time I covered this, they've doubled the amount of users. They were at like 2,500. Now they're at 5,600. I'm in top 500 here. So I like that. Hopefully the airdrop is worth something if their token's even going to be worth anything. I really like this. I'm making passive money on my Bitcoin as long as the ordinals don't go under my entry price. But ordinals have been catching a little bid here recently. I had sent you, I remember we were talking about OMBs, and you literally said to me, normally when we have these discussions, it's time to buy. And obviously Ordinal MaxiBiz is up several $1,000s from where we spoke about it. So thankfully everything's going up from my latest loan because you don't want to go underwater with your loans because then the person's just not going to pay it back and you're stuck with an Ordinal that's under the price. But yeah, I'm not going to invest crazy amount of time. If there's something I like, I'll cover it. I'll make a video tutorial about it, whatever. And maybe I'll farm it, but I'm not going to dedicate like a good part of the next year. I have a farm for some of these other airdrops, Linea or Squirrel or whatever. I don't want to get identified as a Cybele, so I won't say specifically which one. But even that is so much effort. It is so much time. So to do all this stuff, it's just like you said, how much is it going to be worth in a year from now? There's some comments here I wanted to go over real quick. Saying, oh, my Blur for most was 20% return. That's good if you got 20% return. I'm really happy with the blast I got for the small capital. I was in from the beginning, started bridging from mainnet. That's great, man. It's good to hear people are making good money. That's what we need in crypto, right? We want everybody to be winning. Can't hate influencers getting paid. I don't think many of them got paid. I just think some of them, they shilled a bit too much. But like I said, they put money on the line. Influencers can do much better via referrals. I agree, dude. In my videos, I get some of these things. I get like thousands of referrals. I hate when they cap it. I get like 1,000 referrals, and then the points are capped at 20, and I get so mad. How down bad are you, Gorilla? Dude, I made 8K from the airdrop. Plus, I'm in profit like 2 or 3 ETH doing things on Blast, and it's all on chain. You can check my wallet. I made 60K from Blast. I put in 1 hour every day, 1 ETH invested. I looked for free and cheap opportunities. YOLO was my downfall. I think YOLO was the downfall for a lot of people. That the airdrop was garbage, absolute garbage for that airdrop. But he says, Rickstar says, my own fault. That's the attitude you have to have in order to grow. I think Blast will announce incentives next week and it will bounce. The other thing that I noticed is they're not on any major exchanges, right? They're not on versus Blur. Like Blur is on Binance and all. They don't have any major exchanges. Okay, they got Coinbase. Coinbase was the one they announced on day one. But outside, they don't have Binance. Binance is the one you want to get with all your volume. And Blur is on Binance. Yeah, Blur has Binance and Coinbase and OKX. They have like the major 3. Although Bybit now is one of the bigger exchanges. So once we see it get onto Binance too, I'm sure it'll catch a bid there. What about TON? We could talk about TON a little bit in a later section, but I'm really bullish on TON. I mean, I put in like 5 more ETH into the TON ecosystem, and I'm looking there's like 4 meme coins that popped off this week. that I was looking at. I only traded one of them, unfortunately, but still made a nice 2 or 3x right there. I did want to move on to Borpa, which went live. It was a rocky start. Am I streaming? No. Borpa, which, dude, some people, Safs was telling me he knows somebody who got out at $1, bro. That guy cooked. That guy crushed it. How did you fare on Borpa? How did you feel everything went?
So I thought so with Borpa, I actually feel like it has a similar vibe to what I was saying about how Blast was very like marketed towards like the NFT space, and there weren't really a lot of people outside of NFTs that cared. Yesterday was like Christmas for NFT influencers. Every group chat that I was in, all of the NFT people, every person in NFTs, it was the only thing that was on anybody's radar yesterday. And it was like everyone was, that's all they cared about. And it's weird because I didn't see anybody on crypto Twitter, nobody that like trades meme coins or anything talking about this. It was only people that were in NFTs that were excited about Borpa. And what was funny is that I saw that there were, you know, what's interesting is that like these people, a lot of the people that are in NFTs, like they're just like obsessed with whitelist. Like they just love like the risk free, like I don't have to do any work, I don't have to take any risk. Like I just want to get whitelist and I'll mint it. And if the floor is not more than what the mint is, then I'm just not going to touch it. It's like, and I saw like a lot of people were tweeting, they were like, we gave out like, you know, this many spots for like, you know, Borpa, and you think NFTs are dead. And I'm like, dude, it's not even an NFT. Like, what do you mean? And so I think that like a lot, oh, yeah, I think that it performed just as well as I thought it would. That's how I would phrase it. What about you?
Right now, I think it's just on Whales Market. It was selling for 8 cents. It's currently at 6 cents. So once again, Whales Market a little bit overpriced. Although at the beginning, if you got lucky, you could get out a little bit higher. So I mean, we had a meeting. We had a call when it went live, which was unfortunate because they delayed. So that was the first thing, right? They had a lot of delays. They addressed everything. Like they're not trying to hide from it. Oops, wrong tweet. They addressed everything. Here's the tweet. Boom. They addressed it all, saying like, look, we know things went off to a rocky start. They called themselves the next generation meme coin. I saw Nate made a video about this, which I do think he brought out some really good points, which were it's not available. If you tried putting it in any of your trading tools, it didn't work. I wonder if that has something to do with it being omni-chain with Entangle. But if you put it in Shuriken, things looked weird. If you put it in Photon, in Bolex, whatever you use, it wasn't working, which I think was one of the first issues. A lot of people in chats that I was seeing were like, how do I even trade this thing? Everybody is so used to using tools. They don't know that they could use like Jupiter. Even I was like, yo, where did you sell? And you're like, Jupiter.
Yeah.
I know you got out at a good price. You made like 3K, right?
Yeah. I mean, I basically, we were on a call. I saw it like 3 or 4 minutes after it went live, and I basically just claimed and sold. Nice. And what was funny is I don't know if this happened to you. I had 10 people ask me if I should, they're like, should I hold this? And there was this one, yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but like everyone was asking me, they're like, are you bullish? Like, are you holding? And I'm like, dude, like, it's like you're being given free money. Like, are you gonna participate in the ecosystem? Because obviously Borpa was this whole thing where like, you know, you stake it and there's like different, it's like a game kind of thing, which the concept is like super cool. I think a lot of the dumping that happened with it obviously was due to the fact that like people in the NFT space got whitelist for it and all of them sold it because that's just like what the people in the NFT space do all the time.
Or not just the NFT space, dude.
Well,
Any
everywhere.
pre-sale, crypto. Yeah, we're all here to make
everywhere.
money. You have guaranteed money.
Yeah.
It was a 15x for a lot of people, or even right now, it's last I checked, it was an 11x. That's still a great return, especially in these markets. So I can't blame anybody for wanting to flip. And I guess the play there was predicting that everybody's going to flip, so you get out and then you could buy back in. The bug, so they had a bug that Entangle helped them identify. Then the bridges, because it's omni-chain, it was selling for more money on ETH for some reason than on Solana, like way higher market cap, like over, I think it was at 260 mil or something at one point, the FDV. So it was selling for way higher. So everybody rushed the bridge, and then the bridge wasn't working, so they had to fix that.
Yeah.
My fear now, and this is something I experienced on Blast with a game called Blast Runners, which the NFTs did well. I was super down for it. I thought it was going to be the next Wolf game, and then they had bugs, and then they went live again, another bug. So I'm still holding, first of all, both my pre-sale and my whitelist. My fear here is when they launch the game, what if there's a bug? What if there's a bug? And then this thing's just going to zero, absolute zero. If they launch, when they launch the death pools and all that, what's going to happen? It could be bullish. It's going to be burning a lot of tokens. The price can go up, which is what people want. But what if there's a bug? We're just going to zero. So now you're gambling on two things: one, the team's ability to continue getting traction, and two, their ability to dev this thing, which they've already shown there's issues.
Yeah, totally fair. It is very fair to assume that. And the multi-chain thing, I think, opens up a lot of those issues. But the question really is, like, with their marketing, did they build a community of people who really wanted to participate? I think that's hard. I think it's really hard. I think we see that with Web3 gaming's stuff in general, with like playing airdrops or whatever. It's like so many people are just financially motivated. And so I wonder like what that looks like for them specifically. We'll see.
Yeah. The other thing we have to consider is I'm trying to see right now if StakeLand already did the drop. I don't think they did. I'm looking on the audience. Maybe somebody in the audience knows. I'm looking here on the site. So I got my meme staked. I got my stakes aren't gone yet. I know this is like YOLO, where YOLO was a raffle and I didn't win it. So send it to zero. But Borpa now, the next one, I think they get something like, they got a pretty big, maybe even like 5% is what I heard of the supply. So when this airdrop goes out, that's going to be a lot of sell pressure on the token. That's one thing you need to consider. And then the funny thing, this is the tweet I had brought up before. Did you look in your wallet? Because it was trading for like 1 second, it was trading at $1. Everyone's wallet said like, Kenix here, hey, just open my Phantom wallet for the first time in a few days, and I'm down 190K. Like my whitelist wallets all said, like, whether you did whitelist or pre-sale, it was different amounts. My whitelist wallets were ranging like down $68,000, even though I never had that money. It was just funny to see your wallet that negative. I'm sure a lot of people, this gave them made their stomach sink. Send it zero. I also like that one. Nice to see you in the audience, sir. What's your expectations on Mocha, TGE, and Somo? Somo's a tough one because, I mean, you look at Pixelmon. The closest thing is to Pixelmon, right? And Pixelmon is not doing well at all in the current market. Gaming's down bad, and the market took a hit as well. So there's already that. But yeah, Mochaverse or Pixelmon has not been doing well. So why would Somo do better? Let me pull up right here. Yeah, Pixelmon is currently at 200 mil FDV. So it's been a down only since they've launched. I know Somo raised it like 110 mil for their public, or even higher. No, I forget what their public was
for
Somo.
Wasn't it like 100 million?
Okay, it was 100. So they raised that 100. So let's say it launches at Pixelmon numbers. When Pixelmon launched, that would be a 5x, and then now it would be down to 2x. So they're in a rough spot. I think they should just hold off launching. And then your other one, Mochaverse, I do think it's going to be in the billions, but I mean, they raised at 350 mil. So they're in a tough spot as well.
Yeah. I don't really have like too many thoughts on it, honestly. So I'll just keep those to myself.
I don't think we're invested in either of those. So we want them to do well. But yeah, Moving on, I did want to look at some NFTs. NFTs are still a thing, guys. So we had the Chain Colosseum. What is it called?
Chain Coliseum.
Chain Coliseum. Free mint. It hit 0.09. This is a game. They also started tweeting about their token. So a nice little flip here. If you or hold, maybe a hold, but a nice little trade here if you got in and you got whitelist. They are talking about their two tokens, the Z token and the CCP token. Interesting CCP there. Token ticker. Another NFT mint we had today happening right now is, I'm on the wrong network. We have the Rite of Passage, which is the beacon. I know this one got a lot of criticism. It got a lot of people talking about it this week of their price. Their price is 0.115 ETH. It's on Arbitrum, and it's a 10K supply. We are currently in the whitelist phase. I noticed now they did cross over the 50% mark. So there's 4,670 left to be minted. I know it's hard for you guys to see, but it's on the bottom left there of the screen. Look, I love their game. I find it really fun. Their pets, which gave you whitelist for this, was at like 0.35 ETH before going into this mint. I minted mine. I am making a little bet here. I'm hoping. I think the play, and I like them, but their token is 6 months away. This is a voucher for the token. There's going to be other benefits, but I think that's how a lot of people are looking at this thing. And they're getting the airdrop size is pretty good. I did see Hunter Solaire put out some predictions, like depending on the market cap. If it goes to 100 mil FDV, you're in a good place here with this purchase, depending what their unlock is on day one. But again, it's a bet for December. So I think the play here, if you mint it and you want to gamble, I think the play is probably flip it on the secondary. Sorry to say to flip an NFT, but flip it and then come back in like 3-4 months when nobody gives a shit about this thing anymore. And then you could accumulate it. And then when the TGE happens, everybody's going to be talking about it again, hopefully. Because again, their game is really fun. I've been completing all the missions, doing the weekly dungeons, doing their side quests. I really enjoy it, but who gives a shit if a game's fun? People care if it's going to make money. So speaking purely as a trader, I think that's the play. Speaking as a lover of their game, obviously diamond-handed forever. Thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that people were giving it a hard time because people were like, oh, a 10,000 supply collection with a $400 mint price. And everyone was like fudding it to the ground. But then on the other hand, these same people are yelling at all these other projects to like build entire businesses and like be these great projects with like no money, basically. Like they're like, oh, be a free mint and then also go out. And I mean, we've talked about this like before, obviously, but I just think it's funny because like Beacon, what is 400 times 10,000? 4 million? Is that what they're trying to raise?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they're trying to raise $4 million, and we know that 4 million to build out a game and an entire team and everything is just not enough if you're like really trying to turn it into something. I mean, I don't think that people even realize they're like, oh, well, we're going to make Web3 gaming outside of like, you know, what is going to go to Web2. And it's like, you can do that, but you need a pretty sizable marketing budget. Like having a marketing budget is so important because then you can like actually get eyes on it. So I guess my point here is basically like typical NFT space having to give their input on a high priced mint because they don't feel like they can flip it, so they're going to flood it. Yet they're also constantly complaining about how other projects and founders need to be doing this and founders need to be doing that. Oh, but the mid price should be free. So like this is what founders should be doing, but also like they should not make money.
Yeah, I think because like I said, it's a token voucher essentially. You can look at this as, I mean, Akash, before asking about Somo or Mochaverse, you know, if you convert how much Somo and Mochaverse rate, I know they both have NFTs, but if you convert how much they raised to a 10K NFT, it's probably a much higher mint price. But people did it because it's a token. When it's a token, they don't consider it. When it's an NFT that they could see if it's flippable on the secondary market right away, or right now you have to wait for this to mint out to be able to trade it, but you're going to be able to see beforehand if it's flippable. Like that's when the NFT people don't want to mint it. We saw like with Altiverse, a lot of people were scared. I full sent for that one, both the raffles and my guaranteeds, and it was a 3x flip at one point. So I guess you get to see what the demand is before the token actually goes live, and that's like your estimation for the FDV, and that's what people are scared of here. They're scared that. Go for it.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I thought you were done talking.
Good. Go. Yeah.
Do you think that in general, people in the NFT space, like a majority of the people in the NFT space, are taking less risk in crypto?
I have no idea how to answer that, to be honest. I mean, because in the small groups I'm in, a lot of people are taking big risks.
Okay.
But I think the people who are only NFTs, definitely, especially that they're down bad from NFTs, or they see NFTs, like we talk about this a lot, where this is something I struggle with, where we're so used to the bear market and how things happen in the bear that we still have that bear market mentality, where you need to realize we're in a different environment and you need to evaluate everything for its own merits and like make the play there, and not just think, oh, because recently all these NFTs have been doing bad, this is an immediate flip, and there's some good trades to be made.
Yeah. Just curious.
Yeah. How do you feel? Do you think people are still too bearish?
Yeah, I think that like the NFT crowd is very tough because like, I get it, like everyone's here to make money, but it's like people will I know a lot of people that will basically like only touch crypto if it's like a risk-free trade, which there aren't really any of those, anymore. There used to be, I mean, there are still obviously like, I felt like you didn't know it at the time, but like I felt like Borpa was like pretty much a risk-free trade. Obviously free mints are basically like risk-free trades. So I don't know. I was just curious as to hearing your thought.
It's like we got coddled too much, like we were hugged too much as baby NFT traders, and now we think the world owes us. And when anything bad happens, we cry on Twitter, and then if it's a free mint, we take it on to the next one. We don't care. We feel like we deserve it. I think we need to switch up how we think about things. There's a few more mints happening. I wanted to check this one out. We could check it out live. There was Zone 9 was minting. It's minting in 41 minutes. Okay, it hasn't. Oh no, wait, it already started minting. It's a free mint. I did not have whitelist for this one. I tried to get a collab. They wanted an exclusive video for one spot. I was already pissed about this one. Yeah, I was pissed. I was just like, yeah, screw this collab team here.
Are you surprised?
No,
dude, that's like the other thing is that the marketing, a lot of the people that are handling marketing in Web3, while there's so much chatter about it on like the internet, people are like, this is how marketing should go and everything. A lot of the people that market within, like, I would say NFT specifically, like they like really undervalue and like don't. I'm gonna end up saying something bad.
No, I get it, dude. You're asking me, like, do they realize? Especially when I hate when a project comes to me and they ask me for videos. Look, sometimes it's paid videos. I fully say when it's a paid video, even when it's a paid video, and they're offering me like a price. I have a price. It's a business, okay? I have a price, but I know all the other people getting the deal, and they're doing threads, and they're getting the same amount for a thread, and I'm just like, dude, like a thread is so easy. I throw things into Chat GPT sometimes, and I just pump out a tweet when I don't feel like doing it, and it takes 10 seconds. Versus, dude, a video, I have to do the research, write a script, film it, send it to my editors, pay my editors. Like, it's so much more work to do a video. So and
it's better. It is better. Like, video is way better, right?
Yeah, I could actually see the analytics on Twitter, on YouTube at least, how many people are watching the video, how long do they watch, versus on Twitter, like you just see the views of a thread. You don't know. I rarely read threads. I'll just like
no
people
one
I like threads. Yeah, I comment like W thread, bro. There are some that I do read, and I have them all bookmarked, so I could check all the threads that I actually read. There was a lot of good ones around the Blast TGE. Everybody's sharing, all the good farmers sharing, like Moritz Legendary, dude. I must have bookmarked like 10 of their tweets just to come back and read it, because I didn't have time to read it at the time. Only trying to do videos personally. I think that's Icy in the audience. I could be wrong. W live stream, bro. Thank you, sir. Here's somebody Rick Star asking about counterfire. That's so there's also this counterfire project. They delayed till tomorrow. The original mint did well. I remember we did well on it. We flipped it. My fear here, though, is I'm looking to Card Party. Card Party completely botched their mint. I know Jur had some tweets about this where he was talking about his frustrations, and now the Genesis is down bad. So this is kind of what I'm comparing it to. What their Genesis is still doing decent, though. It's at a 0.5, although they did delay the mint. I don't think I have whitelist for it, so I don't have a dog in the fight. So hopefully it does well. Somebody did tell me, though, that I think they announced like they're going to buy back, or they're going to put in bids or whatever. So you're going to be able to, yeah, it is Icy. What's good, Icy? Thanks you for stopping by. They're going to, like, I guess kind of defend the floor. It's almost like a refund policy. The one I'm, looking to, which I'm still holding, and in hindsight, I should have sold at 10 ETH, which was my target, and I just didn't take my own target. But L37s Gen 2, this I find is the leader. It was the same advisory team or similar people for all of these projects: Card Party, L37, Matrix, Counterfire. And the main one I'm looking to, I invested in Matrix, so that's a main one, but also L37, I'm still a holder. I really like this tweet by Jur talking about, hey, the Genesis guys are going to vote on the mint details for the project, either free. It's going to be a 3 to 5K supply, depending on what we vote. And there's some smart people, like Grail's a big holder of this one. Dingling, I'm pretty sure as well. And they're also going to do revenue share for this. So it's going to be interesting. Like, are the Gen 1s going to get greedy here and try to price it high because we get 20% of the profits? And then the remaining 80% is going to be put into the floor. It's going to be put into bids for people if they want to dump. It's not just going to go under mint price, at least not at first, because there's going to be 80% of the mint funds. So you're able to get your money back for this. So I like that. It's essentially a refund policy. That's really good. So I like this kind of thing. I like what they're doing here. So I'm happy to still be. Obviously, I'd rather have 10 ETH, but right now, like, I'm happy with the direction they're going with L37. But so unfortunately, I don't have more to say about Counterfire. I hope they do well, but yeah, I don't know if you have any thoughts on it, Ash.
No, I hope they do well. Honestly, like, I miss NFTs. Like, I enjoyed trading them. Like, I enjoyed being excited about them. I think it's easy right now in like a time like this to feel a certain type of way about it. But yeah, I mean, generally speaking, I want these projects to do well, right? I do, because it pushes forward like what we do on a daily basis. And so I think even myself sometimes can be too critical, whether it's on these teams or like the community and how like they respond to a lot of this stuff too. So I don't know how. I think like the refund option was good, right? Like it makes you feel like a little bit better about it. But yeah, I mean, I of course I hope like this stuff does well. Like, that's just like a given.
Rick Star giving me some flowers here, saying my content is tops, never change. Appreciate you. Borpa and Blast were so off. Unfortunately, yeah, a lot of the prediction. I mean, Borpa, I think, did exactly what we thought it was going to do. Blast underperformed, definitely. Why did Card Party launch their Gen 2 when volume in NFTs was? I don't know, first of all. Second of all, their site was really not working well. Like, I had whitelist. I tried to go mint, and I couldn't even find the mint button. It was really weird. I mean, I have guaranteed whitelist, so I'm just going to see what happens. 1.5K supply, but I agree with the Card Party comparison. Yeah, again, hopefully it does well. We're running low on time here. I didn't want to look at the overall market, but first, this Dr. Disrespect thing, where the reason that he got banned from Twitch like 4 years ago came out, and it's for he messaged a miner, and Jonah here saying your game is now dead in the water. A shame, because there was some good devs. Did you do you agree with what he's saying here? Is Dead Drop dead? Do you think Dr. Disrespect was the only thing giving this game life?
Yeah, I do.
I think when I look at these types of games, the extraction shooters especially, there's Shrapnel, which I think Web3 embraces a lot more than Dead Drop. They talk about a lot more. The marketing team is also way more active. Like I see Shrapnel all the time on my timeline. I have not seen Dead Drop for a very long time. The other one though, Off the Grid, I've been playing that every weekend. Like I suck, but it's very fun. It's like COD and Apex in one. It's really fun. I love how their extraction works. You don't have to end the game to extract. You could extract mid game. You just have to defend it, and then you could keep playing. I think that one's going to dominate. That one was also associated with Dr. Disrespect. I haven't yet seen them say anything about it. I don't think they should. Like nobody gives a shit, dude. Nobody cares about this. So the fact that Midnight Society came out and did this, I think they acted way too fast. Fire the intern that that did that. But I did want to look at the overall NFT market. We're having a little bounce back here. Bored Apes are back above. Let me zoom in for you guys. Bored Apes back above 10 ETH here. Pudgy's almost to 10 ETH. We got Mutants working their way back to 2. Look, it's doing really well. I'm seeing a lot of tweets saying like, especially from apes, dude. It's all apes. They're all like, see, we didn't need blur bids to have NFTs do well here. And it's like that chart where your coin goes down 90%. It has that little 5% tick up. And everybody's bull posting like, let's go. But then when you zoom out, it's like, wait, we're still down bad. Like if you look at apes, dude, there's still, my camera's in the way here. Okay, you can barely see from the 1 month. But if you go back like, 6 months, like they are down bad, dude. So we're all celebrating like this little tick up. It's nice to see them coming back, but I don't know what we're celebrating here. Like NFTs are still down bad, dude. Volume is still down bad.
Yeah, it's cool to see the bounce back. The question is like, do you think that it's going to be like a reversal, or do you think it's just like that little like, hey, we're a little bit of volume?
The entire market bounced. A lot of meme coins and a lot of alt bounced too. So whenever I see people like, I had posted on the day I put out the tweet like NFTs or the video NFTs are dead, which is it's clickbait. I'll be the first to admit it. Pudgies were at like 7. And I tweeted like, even though I said NFTs are dead, I feel like buying a Pudgy right now. In hindsight, I should have, but it didn't matter. I put money in meme coins instead, and they all bounced as well. So everything bounced together, not just NFTs or not just meme coins. The whole market bounced back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's just not a lot of catalysts out there for NFTs right now. There's no new users. So
yeah, if you look at we're at all-time low here. Less than 2,500 people traded yesterday or bought NFT unique buyers yesterday.
Sad.
Yeah. And then to like top that off, I mean, we had a Sotheby's sale for NFTs here, and really not, great that people are buying these. But like, if you look at the prices, I mean, dude, how much did Squiggles used to sell for? This one sold for still $57,000. Still a lot of money, but if you look at the past of Squiggles, they used to sell for a lot more, 18, 30 ETH at the top. Wow. And then another one, we have the archetypes. These are like 50 ETH at one point, I believe. Back in the day, the average price here, 63 of the average price. So I'm sure there was a higher sale that day, maybe that brought it up, but they were trading here 40 ETH, 20. They were trading for a lot of money. So like, I don't find this is anything to write home about. Even the Sear Lights too. Like Sear Light here, this one sold for 45K, 20, or there's just one from Sear Light, 45K. But if you look at some of her older work, like it used to sell for 180K, 180K, a lot of money, $230,000 for this is one NFT. These are one of ones. Amazing artists. Like I've covered her in my artist spotlight videos. But we are definitely not back. This ape sold for like 78 ETH, a golden ape. Wouldn't you think this goes for over 100 ETH?
Do you remember when gold apes, like you could touch it for less than like 750? Yeah. Wild. I mean, for 70 ETH, like that's a pretty low, dude. Like, that's actually insane. I remember when I saw that, I was like, no way.
Yeah. We got showing us some love in the audience here. I'm a big fan of Ash Robin CG. I'm always in Ash Robin's meme coin chat, and it's goated. It's Crypto Geek. Thank you for showing us some love, dude. Appreciate you. Not a reversal yet. We're still in an NFT bear. People just got too excited too quickly. I completely agree. I've been saying for a while, I think what needs to happen for the reversal is people just need to make a lot of money in crypto, in altcoins. I feel not just meme coins, right? Because meme coins, it's a select group. But if altcoins go up, a lot of us are going to be in big profits. So we need to feel rich from altcoins. Then we're going to look for the next casino, which I think is going to be NFTs as one of the major players. We have a little bit, I don't know if you got to jump, Ash. I just wanted to look quickly at some meme coins.
Yeah, let's
We
go
got
like 5 to 10.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Mog crushing it, dude. I know you made a big buy here at the bottom. It went down 50%. It went down to like 300 mil FDV, and it's up on the 7-day 95% right now. So Mog absolutely crushing it. Do you think this has to do with the ETH ETF, or what do you think this has to do with?
Honestly, I feel like they have some big listing coming, because like, why is this performing so well? Like, that's like how I view it. I mean, the community is super strong. I'm trying to be a little bit more conscious of like the trades that I make and such. And so that's one that like I want to be constantly like playing it the right way. But yeah, I honestly, like, with how hard it's going, considering that there aren't, like, Pepe isn't going as crazy like Brett, none of these other ones. Yeah, I would guess that they are probably getting some exchange. That's what I would assume.
That would make a lot of sense. Where's Brett sitting at right now? Brett is at 1 point. Brett has been so stable. Despite the whole market taking a dump, like, it has been doing so well.
Yeah, I bought 7 ETH worth of Brett basically here, which is crazy when you look at the chart. But yeah,
that's your number, eh? You like putting 7 ETH into a lot of these meme coins.
Yeah, like 20K. You know, like, that's how like I view it.
Resistance dog just holding really stable. It's been at 100 mil for a while. This is one I'm big on. Somebody had asked about Ton before. This is my gamble on Ton here. And it's been holding really well. I could definitely, especially as Ton picks up more, which right now they're getting more wallets created than ETH wallets per day. So I could definitely see Ton being, it's going to be a main character, and hopefully redo Resistance Dog is going to be one of the main memes, if not the top meme. Like I said, there's a lot that have been popping off. Actually, let's go look again. I'm not trying to show this one. I don't own it. The Dawn of Ton. Oh, this one got wrecked. Okay, I'm really happy I didn't buy it. I was looking to buy it like at 14. It got absolutely demolished here. It's currently at 6. The reason I didn't buy it, I saw this get called in CK's group. He called it like 3 or 4 mil. It pumped way too fast, dude. I was like, yeah, I'm buying the top if I get in, because I could get in at like 15 mil, which would have been the literal top. Then it dumped. Goodbye. It went all the way to like 20. Now it's down bad. But I like the narrative of this, like the Dawn of Ton. That's really cool. I've seen like 3 or 4 meme coins on Ton pop off in the last week, but the only one I have money in right now is Resistance Dog. And I definitely see this one, 500 mil or a bill as more people get into the Ton meme coin game. And then I guess we could talk about the celebrity coins. I did not follow this one at all. But can you maybe run us through what happened here with Jason?
Dude, Jason's just like actually famous. Like, he has one of the biggest TikTok platforms. He's not like this just random person. And I think that people got really bullish on this because he basically got scammed by Sahil and then was like, all right, I guess I'm in this. Like, I liked how he handled it, because he could have just basically been like, screw this, right? Like, Sahil hit him up, was like, do you want to do this tweet for this gambling thing? Finessed Jason. Jason then had the coin out, and he was like, all right, I guess I'm running this. And it's like, with all the stuff that he's doing, he's been spending time on Twitter Spaces, like tweeting about this. He did a TikTok about it. Like, he actually like really like got into it. So I think that people are just speculating that, because he is huge, like the people that, you know, his TikTok following is going to see it, and he has like this huge reach. So I think that's pretty cool. And so yeah, I that's basically like what happened with that. Amber Rose launched a coin last night. It mooned, which is funny.
What's it called?
It's called Muva, MUVA. So not mother,
Mother,
but
but
Muva.
it's at 12 mil. This is Kanye West's ex, right? Is that who Amber Rose is?
Mm.
No.
Amber Rose like
Okay.
used to date like Wiz Khalifa, I think.
Okay. What's Mother at, by the way? Mother and Daddy. Okay, Mother is at 60 mil. So the Jason Derulo, the way you're describing it, it reminds me of Mother. The way how
Yeah.
Iggy was on Spaces, she was like in the game, in the trenches.
There's a
Fahad here,
difference though. Like,
Fahad's saying he's also doing a podcast with Thread Guy, which is something Iggy did.
dude,
Sorry, what?
Thread Guy's like, he's actually, that's pretty fucking cool. Like,
Dude, he has Andrew Tate coming up. Dude, that's gonna be a big one. A lot of people were giving him flack for it. Like, screw the haters, bro. I'd interview Andrew Tate. But what were you gonna say though when I said it's like Mother?
like Jason and like and Iggy are different because Iggy has like the simp factor.
True. Yeah, she just posted her butt and oh, dude, I missed it. I was gonna mint 2 more of the beacons. Apparently, it just sold out. You can mint 2 more on the waitlist phase. Darn. But thanks for the news, Cypress Phoenix. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly. Cool. I think that was it on the list. Yeah. So that's it for today's stream, guys. Great turnout. I appreciate everybody stopping by. We do this every single Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Actually, you know what? Let me just go see. Is it tradable? Is Beacon tradable yet? I want to go see what it's trading at. Where did I put Beacon? So this was the mint link. Yeah, 0 left. So it's sold out. All right, where do we trade this thing? On Treasure? I know there's the founding characters. Here, I have the founding characters pulled up. How do I get to the main Beacon? Collections. Here we go. Rite of Passage. It says listed, but is it not trading yet? Am I blind? And we're going to OpenSea. The Beacon, Rite of Passage. Is this the correct collection? I don't want to get scammed here. Let me go to their Twitter. I know I kind of put a wrench. We were supposed to end the show, and now we're just looking up. Can they post their? I hate when projects don't post their secondary link, but maybe it's just not live yet. Maybe that's the problem. OpenSea ain't it? It got some listings at 690 Magic. Well, how much is that? Magic is like what, 60 cents? Yeah, 61 cents. Let's do some quick math. That's 420. Okay, so it's trading at its mint price, basically. It's trading for break even. Did you guys see that video of Offset talking about crypto? I have not, sir.
Yeah, I saw.
Is he launching a coin?
Nah, he was just like, he's like, tell me what crypto to buy. He's like, I'm really with this shit. Like, you know what's funny is like they all say the same thing. They always say they're like, yeah, like, you know, I'm trying to like do this the right way.
Yeah.
You know, like they all say that. I don't get why. It's like it's almost like they know that that like everyone just assumes that they're gonna grift. So like they always come in and they're like, no, like I just want to learn. Like I just want to like blah, blah, blah. I'm launching a token.
The only one who actually learned was Ray from 9gag, dude. He's the only one for like a Web 2 person. I'm sure there's more. I don't want to, but he's like the main character who spent a year losing money on NFTs before he launched his official token.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's still halted until they unlock it. So we'll end the episode here. Again, appreciate everybody. We do this every single Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. We also post a ton of videos on our Twitters, our YouTubes. So be sure to check that out. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Ash, for co-hosting this with me. Always have a lot of fun with you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Peace. You got to hit your chest like a gorilla, dude, or it doesn't count. Come on. You got to throw a Pokeball or something.